My name is Daniel Hunt. Um, Born and raised New Haven. Grew up in New Haven and Hamden. Um, was recently appointed as commissioner of the Human Services Commission in Hamden.
Yeah, that's a very interesting position for a 24-year-old. So tell us a little bit about that position and what do you hope to accomplish there?
So yeah, it's a government position. This will be my first one. Um, I've done a lot of work in New Haven over the last 4 years. Worked in the school system, did work in the community. Um, I created the community walk program with New Haven Police in 2017 after I lost some friends, some family members um, to gun violence. Had some ideas. I wanted to help build relationships with the community,
You
and
mean
met with.
you
Mhm.
wanted to build a relationship between the community and the police department?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And how is that effort going? Because
It,
we have had a lot of problems with police, not so much here in Connecticut, but nationwide there have been a lot of problems with police, and there's a big call for some type of police reform. And in your interactions with police, do they seem willing to kind of make inroads into that relationship that is so damaged?
yes. They have been very responsive. They to my ideas, to from what I see from the community concerns. They've been open. They haven't turned down any idea that I wanted to do with the community. Um, they've
Can
had full support.
Yeah, so can you give us an idea of what kind of ideas you came up with that would build better relationships? And um, can you give us an idea of how they are working out?
For example, the community walk program. I had a list of about at least 5 to 10 ideas, and met with assistant chief or Chief Campbell at the time when he was the
Right.
chief of police. Um, and then we just talked to him, had a meeting with him, and he was just all for it. He said this is what he wanted to do. I gave him my vision, he gave me his vision, and then we collaborated together. And then probably within the next month, we started the community walk program. But he wanted to do it step by step first. He didn't want to, just do everything all at once. So it was really good.
And
We started our first one in New Hallville, and community was like, we need to have this more often. Um, and we did it in every neighborhood, all 10 neighborhoods of New Haven. And then, after we did that for that year, we started rotating them just every month, and it was well received. The district managers, because in New Haven there's about 10 to 11 districts, and
right.
have a district manager. So they reported in the ComStat meetings and their management team meetings. How it was well received by community members and all there's business owners, and it was just a good program. And we some of our community walks, we even played basketball in with the kids at like Gulf Street Park, Ashman Street Park, and the one at Ashman Street, that was a big turnout. Like we had about 50, 60 people walking with us at the walk. And so, we had officers giving popsicles, candies, books to the kids.
So
So,
the officers actually were walking with you.
yes.
The officers were actually walking with you. Okay.
Yeah,
What
like
is
the lieutenants, the chiefs, sergeants, the patrol officers, the walking beat. So we had officers from Yale University, and some people from the state's attorney's office. So it was like a big turnout, and a mixture of the police and community with us.
now? what can you tell me about this Born Rich Academy? You're part of some type of academy, or you have some input there. What can you tell us about that, and how does that help young Black people or young minority kids, I should say, in our communities?
So I'll for so what my job will be in that program, I'll be recruiting talent. So we're gonna have I don't know all the details just yet, but I know it's like an academy where we're gonna have some young people involved, who have interests of music, arts, digital design, all that stuff.
And what do you hope to do with those people who show such promise in the arts and so forth? What do you hope? How do you hope to help them?
By seeing their talent and what we can do to help them and help them grow and to learn more in their talent, basically.
So it
I hope
really
that makes
is. So it's an initiative to recognize talented young people and um, maybe lift them up, give them some confidence, and help them kind of feel their way through their chosen field. Is that the idea?
sense. Hmm.
Okay. And what can you tell me? I know that you got involved here because you lost some friends or family members to gun violence. Wh- What was that like, and how did it spur you on to make a change in your community?
I wanted to make a change because I felt like that's where God was leading me to do. Um, it was a difficult time for me. I can't, I seen a lot of family going through a lot of trauma.
Right.
Even with my family losing my cousin at a young age. I don't want to get into too many
Right.
details.
I understand. That's fine. That's fine.
But
This is your moment to talk. So you
yeah,
can say what you want or not say what you don't want.
yeah. So I just seeing a lot of family members, talk about we need to change New Haven. There needs something to be done. I thought about that, and I went into prayer one time, and this is where God was leading me, to create something that's going to help build the change. And so, like I said, I came up with some ideas, and met with Chief Campbell, and we just started going into these initiatives.
And what about
So,
Kim? Go ahead.
mhm.
What about Kim Washington? I know that she is, you work with her on several different programs or whatever. What is that relationship like, and how are you two um, expanding out into the community to get your message out?
So we've been expanding a lot of our work in the Hampton. A lot of the work that we focus on is in New Haven. We're both Hamden residents, so
Right,
we active in Hamden now. Um, I know before the pandemic, probably in January, because I know pandemic had kind of hit in like March, April.
right.
So I had, met with us at the time he was Deputy Chief Sullivan of Hamden PD, and I met he's the chief of police now, but I had met with him. I was like, Chief, I want to expand the work that I've been doing in New Haven and expand it in the Hamptons. And he said, Mr. Hunt, he said, I'm all for it. He said, whatever you need, we're gonna help you. Um, and then he started giving me, more resources on how we could do it, in a much bigger form. But pandemic had hit and things started, world started changing. So
Sure. So
it
you,
was
I know
like,
you got knocked back a bit, so you have to come
yeah.
forward. Sure, I understand. I think that's the way it
I'm
is.
like, yeah, so I'm like, dang, as soon as we about to get rolling, we started planning and stuff, and then pandemic hit. I was like,
And
so
so, and so, are you now on hold? Or are you now that things are getting back to normal? Are you ready to roll out again and get things started again?
yeah, so we're starting to do it just a little bit. I know they have a community liaison and neighborhood initiative officer, Sergeant Onofrio.
Hmm.
He's in charge of like all the neighborhood initiatives. So I've been working closely with him. Our schedules have been a little busy, lately
Sure,
because he
sure.
has a lot of work, and then I have a full-time job, so that's been kind of a little hectic. But yeah, we've been trying to get things rolling, but we've been taking our time because we don't know how the pandemic is gonna take a twist. So
Well,
yeah, we're in the midst of all that.
let me ask you about other young people your age. Are you,
Mhm.
do you find it difficult to get them involved, or what are your challenges getting other young people your age involved in these type of situations to help the community? What are you finding? Do you need more help?
Yeah, I think it has been difficult. Um, I think just we have to reach out to the more youth programs and youth outreach organizations to get more young people involved. I know that was one difficulty I did have in the beginning. But it's all about reaching out and connecting with people. There's a lot of resources out there.
Yeah, it's all about persistence. You have something you call let me say lunch and learn. Is that it? Lunch and learn? What
Yes.
is that? What is that? I like the lunch part.
Yeah. So yeah, when I was at East Rock School, so I was working in the school system for about 4 years. I worked at Engineering and Science University Magnet School. I was there for about 3.5 years. Then I got transferred the year after to East Rock, which I loved it there. Um, Created a program with the assistant principal, Miss Leslie DePries, and told her I wanted to do a lunch and learn program with the 7th to 8th graders. So I had a mission statement and told her what my vision was for that program. Um, I had different African American professionals coming to the school and having lunch with the kids, talking to them about their careers, what inspired them to get in that program, to get in that career field. And it was just an excellent program. I had kids after telling me, "Oh, when's the next one gonna be?" We enjoyed it. Especially the food part.
Right,
So
sure. Everybody likes the food part. Probably pizza. Probably pizza.
yeah.
So
So I
so
had so I had a list about 20. We only allowed about 20 kids to come in, and I had even more kids who wanted to get involved. So I had kids that over exceeded the list, about 25 to 30. And I was like, goodness, I said, you guys are really excited to, be a part of that. And they all wanted to learn. So about the career professionals. And we created a flyer of you know, what this is gonna be, what that person's gonna be, the time when they're coming. And the first one was Mr. Michael Smart of the town clerk of New Haven.
mhm.
Um, he brought two of his interns and the kids enjoyed it. And then the
Now,
second was Eric Clemens, CEO and president of Connecticut Center for Arts
mhm,
and Technology, Concat, on Winchester Ave. And then the third one was going to be Assistant Chief Campbell from now he's at Yale University
right.
Police. The fourth one was going to be Taisha Walker, president of Alders, Board of
Mhm.
Alders. Um,
Now
and
you're
then
saying was going to be. These are the ones that was stopped by the pandemic,
yes, sir.
or and
Mhm.
will you
So
bring them back?
So yeah, I only had two come before the pandemic. So it was Michael Smart and Eric Clemens.
Right.
The last three, Anthony Campbell, Taisha Walker, and I was gonna have Dominique Moody, who was a reporter at NBC Connecticut. But pandemic had came and school was closed, so I only had
Sure.
was able to have them two come and do the lunch and learn.
So are you going to look to revive that program? Because it
So I
sounds
don't.
it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, so I no longer work in the school system. So I was a lot of us were laid off and during that time of the pandemic. So I had got my security guard certification. That was, one of my goals also to be a security officer. And then got my security guard certification. Then I just got into the security field.
Now, from the way you talk about these programs, the children were really enthusiastic about them.
Mhm.
And it just seems to me if children are enthusiastic about something, that is something you want to keep going. But I wanted to ask you about something else. On my podcast that's running this week, I talked to someone from Alpha Phi Alpha, and it's a
Mhm.
fraternity. And they have scholarship money for Black teenagers, Black male teens, about in there who are seniors in high school and are going on to college. And I was wondering if you know, since you work with these young, talented kids and so forth, if you know any young Black male students graduating from high school in 2022
Mhm.
that needs a scholarship, needs some scholarship money. Because if so, I would ask you to have them listen to my podcast with the fraternity, with the vice chairman of the fraternity, to see how they can get this money to help them, with their education. I just think that is one of the things that is very important, and certainly for maybe the students that you're going to be working with in the arts, because there is no you have to study, say, law or whatever. You can study whatever you want. So this may be something that you can key in on and be able to pass along with the students that you are working with. I just wanted to throw that in, put that in, put that in your head. Um,
Yeah, there's a few people I could tap into and see if they're interested.
Yeah, I mean, it's from, and I'm not going to tell you, what the criteria is, because I want you to go to the podcast to get the information. But it's not something that you know any student who is looking for a scholarship wouldn't be able to achieve.
Hmm.
The what they're asking for is not, you know, you're not going to have to sit in front of your computer with a book, studying night and day in order to get this scholarship. But they are looking for young Black men who are going on to college, and this is money that is available. $2,500, I might add. So, it's a
Five hundred,
decent
you said?
2,500,
Okay.
$2,500. So it's a decent little piece of money to help you along.
Hmm.
Anyway, what's next for you? What do you see? What do you see in your role as the commissioner when this is, let's say, 5 years from now, you leave this position and move on? What do you hope you have accomplished in that time?
Expanding more youth programs.
And what programs do you consider to be the most important that we don't have right now, or that we
So,
need to shore up right now?
I think we will have to do more mentoring programs in Hampton, for the at-risk youth. One of the programs that I was a part of when I was working in the school system, when I was at ESUM's Engineering and Science University Magnet School, we did a I am mentoring program at ESUM's program. So it was me, the assistant principal, Mr. Mark Sweeting, and two other gentlemen, Mr. Tavon Moore and Mr. Scott Boss. We all worked together as part of the support team. So we paired 11th and 12th graders with 7th and 8th grade at-risk students, or yeah, at-risk students. And we paired them up. Some of those kids that was repeat getting in trouble, and
Right.
also um, that was having difficulty learning in school. So we paired them up with some of the students that was doing very well, had them in a mentoring program, and every few weeks we'll have them meet together. They'll talk about different issues that they're going through in school, as far as behavior issues, learning, um, grades, just etc. And we always have to meet together, and then the mentors they'll meet with us, and then we'll go back, see, talk with the teachers, or we'll meet as a team, as like for the staff, see what we can do, get what resources and support we could give them.
And did you find that to be successful working
Yeah,
with these
so
kids?
so some of the kids had like bad bad grades as far as D's and F's. So some of the kids, by the time we was finished, a lot of the kids' grades started to improve. C's and B's, B's and A's, B's and C's. So we started seeing improvement, and we started seeing change in their behavior. So that program, that was a good program that we had did.
That you had to do what? I'm
Not
sorry.
what I said. Yeah,
Go ahead.
a program that we did at the school.
Okay. Um, is there anything else that you would like to add here that I have not asked you? What would be your final word here?
I'm just really excited for the opportunity to serve in this capacity as a commissioner in the Human Services Commission. You know, last year my pastor, my bishop, Randall Furlow, well, I would like to give him a shout out because he's my mentor, and he told me last year, and he prophesied to me. He said, "You're gonna have a position in government really soon, so prepare yourself." And I looked at him and I started smiling, and I was like, "Really?" And of you know, on April 5th, that's when my appointment went through. You know, Mayor Lang has sent me a message. He was like, "I would love for you to serve in, on a commission or a board." He said, "You have a great voice, and you know, you're well known in the community." And I was just really excited. And you know, we were on the committee, and you know, the I passed unanimously, and I was just really excited.
You know, summer's coming.
Mhm.
Anything you have in the works for kids for the summer?
As of right now, no. I'm just gonna be working with the Born Rich Academy. You know, we're gonna be continuing our community walk, and we're gonna expand it into Hamden, because I know this is what a lot of community members have asked for in their neighborhoods. Um, so that as of right now, those are the main two things I'm looking to do.
Well, Daniel, I appreciate you coming on, and we certainly wish you a lot of luck. It's a big challenge for you, but I think you're capable of handling it. And I certainly wish you good luck in the community walks and in getting more young people such as yourself involved in making the community just a better and safer place for everyone.